as a way to purchase gold and silver and platinum from gold money and hold it in your own private storage in either Switzerland or London. It's allocated storage. And that's one way, which I think is awesome. I participate in that and I advocate it. There are other people who want to actually hold their own. They don't want it anywhere else except near them. Is there something that can be provided to the public that you may have that people can order from you?
Well, yeah, it's that in a direct way. There's a couple things. One is you can go to the website silver-investor.com or just type David Morgan into Google. You'll find the website pretty easily. And what you want to do is get on the free mailing list. And on the free mailing list, I do from time to time, not every week, but over the course of a year, several times, you will get a recommendation from a few of the coin dealers that I know personally that are very beneficial to the public buying metal. I did a report several years ago using the GATA list, the Gold Antitrust Action Committee, that basically had a huge list of coin dealers. And since I've been buying gold and silver since I was
very young.
Very young.
How old exactly?
Well, I started getting interested in silver when I was 11, but I didn't have much of an income. So but I have been buying metal most of my life. And so I knew, since I've bought from almost everybody over the years, the main dealers anyway, who's who. But
I think that's very important because don't you think that at the end of the day, I mean, if people are buying silver coins, that's one thing. If they're buying silver bullion, that's another. And there are different types of dealers. And the one thing that people really want today is to be able to trust who they're dealing with. So I think that would be helpful.
Well, it is, but, and to make the point and hopefully not sound too promotional, in a lot of cases, the best thing to do is to consult with me. Now, I'm not trying to put a big onus on everybody listening that they should do a consultation because it's expensive and it doesn't fit everybody. But if you're looking at a big purchase, just knowing like the best place to buy bullion versus coins, or why coins over bullion or bullion over coins. I mean, there's a lot of factors I can't put in the report. We did a report several years ago. We took the GATA list, and I had someone anonymous call up everybody on the same day at the same conditions and order the same amount of silver in a very specific manner, and that was Silver Eagles, because all dealers have to pay about the same price for them. So now we get to determine who marks up the most. Also, how fast it is to order, how cumbersome it is, how long it takes to get delivery, and on and on and on. And I made a report on that. But it really didn't sell that well. It certainly would save people a lot of money. We found a spread of about 20%. So if you were going to put $1,000 into silver coins, wouldn't you like to know, which dealers you could buy that same product for and save $200? And I only sold the report for like $39. But it wasn't successful. There were very few people that bought it, and then as time went on, since the report was written several years ago, I got a lot of blowback that, well, I don't know who to buy from this minute. I need to know this instant, who do I buy it from? Well, there's always new dealers coming on and off, and I don't necessarily, in this study, and my own experience of over 30 years of buying metal, physical metal, and knowing, again, a great deal of these dealers on a first-name basis, buying the lowest price is not always the wisest way to go.
That's true with anything.
It is true. I mean, you want to know that it's going to be packaged properly. You want to know that you can be, it's registered mail or it's insured. You want to know that you're going to get it. Not that there's very much rip-off in this business, because there isn't, but it does happen from time to time. And so if you're looking for only the cheapest price, you're not really thinking very clearly. So I have, my favorite dealers, and again, if someone's, going to put a great deal of money into the market, and I'm not saying consult with me, but do your homework. I mean, you don't need me specifically, but you do need to do your homework. And what I teach, and again, if you come back and get on the free mailing list at my website, silver-investor.com, I talk about the dealers. I talk about, and this is all free. You'll get the 10 rules of silver investing. And I talk about starting small. I mean, this is common sense stuff, but some people get excited. They read about silver, they read about gold, and they're getting worried or whatever motivates them. And they say, you know what, I've got all this money, and I just cashed out part of my 401k, or I just sold my house, or I just sold my car, or whatever it is, and I'm going to put it all into silver, okay? That's a bad approach for any investment, especially based it all on emotion. But people do these type of things. So then they, get on the internet for 5 minutes and find a dealer, and then they're in, and then they find out they bought the wrong type of coin, or, bought it from the wrong dealer or whatever. All I'm saying is to look at the information I'll give you for free, look at the 10 rules of silver investing, and in that I say start small. If you're going to put in 5,000 in the silver market or the gold market or whatever, put in 500. See how that dealer treats you. See how it's packaged. See how long it takes you to get it. See if you're happy with the product. See what their buyback policy is. Start small. Common sense, but a lot of people won't do it. And so that's in one of the rules of silver investing. And I not only give you the rule, I give you the logic and the thinking behind the rule, and that's, available again for free for everybody. I've countless times over the years when I give these seminars to the public and some investment conferences, and sometimes they're private workshops, but in the speaking regime throughout the world, and I do travel the world speaking on the merits of the precious metals, I've gotten compliment after compliment. Geez, you're really doing us, meaning the investing public, a huge favor by, giving us those 10 rules of silver investing, because there's a lot of just basic common sense stuff that you might not have think of. In fact, just to continue on this spirit for a bit longer, when I was asked to write this so many years ago, and I wrote it, and I was asked to make it pithy, and if you've read them, you know that they are. The rule number one that I wrote about, silver is the money of last resort, not gold. And, of course, this was printed in the UK, the United Kingdom, and, of course, I can't do a real good British accent, but here it goes.
Have a cup of tea.
Oh, yeah, so, my goodness, David, this is marvelous. I can't believe it. I never thought of rule number one. My goodness, of course silver would be the money of last resort. Don't you know? I never thought of that. So, he went on and on. It's praising me. And, I got a big tee-hee chuckle out of it, but it is true. And so, again, to sound a bit self-promotional here, I used to sell that report. I used to sell the 10 rules of silver investing. But years ago, I thought, part of my job is education. And
it's huge. It's huge.
So I do it for free and for fun. And if you become a subscriber to the Morgan Report, where we get into, more specific ways to make money. And another thing, on the dealer thing, there's a few dealers that will give a discount to my paid subscriber list. Now, that doesn't happen often, and it's not something to look for in every report. In fact, we have not done it for quite some time. But in 2010, this year, and of course we're just now at the end of January, there will probably be a couple offers during the year that you're not going to be able to buy it for spot and no markup. I mean, guys who go broke doing that, but you're going to get it at a markup that's lower than probably anywhere else you could get it, both for the Silver Eagles and also for Silver Rounds. And then, again, this is because these people know my work, they know me, they know my integrity, and they want to help me, do well, because they know the amount of time, effort, energy, and money that I've taken out of my own pocket to educate the public, because I think it's so important in today's world to understand money, what it is, and why you need to save it. You just need to know what it is so you save it in the right form, because if you're saving it in a fiat currency, you're going to wake up someday and
your purchasing power will be gone and the money will be inflated.
I've got quite a collection of books on economic history, silver, gold, lots of aspects, and I've got one I can't pull it off while we're talking, but it's called The Penniless Billionaires. Read that book, and you're going to discover some very important truths. I mean, I have a Zimbabwe $1 trillion note, and I gave it to my mother-in-law, and she holds on to it, and she says, "Oh, if only this was real." I said, "It is. It's totally real. That is a legitimate Zimbabwe $100 trillion note." "Oh, it can't be." "Oh, yes, it is. And it's worth about a half a cup of coffee." But people still don't get it. They don't understand the destruction of a currency and what it means to a society when that happens. Unfortunately, this time around, as I said at the beginning of the program, it's a worldwide phenomena, because the dollar is the reserve currency of the world. So as the dollar goes, basically, so goes the world economy, based on a monetary system that's totally corrupt.
Speaking of corrupt, can we move really quickly to something interesting that is a little bit of a shift from this? Because most people that are paying attention know that this economy has crashed by design.